Hey, if we kill everyone over there, will we finally be free?
I don't know, man.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about that show.
Uh-huh.
The show
Yep.
that we all watched season 1 of, and then we waited for season 2 of.
So long.
And then when season 3 happened, we were surprised to see it was split. But then by the time we finished it, we were
was
so thankful.
so thankful.
Because, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. We're here
Yep.
on the other side of Attack on Titan season 3.
That's
waiting
right.
for the final season.
Wait, we're talking about Attack on Titan.
Oh,
I thought we were talking about like something completely different. I can't think of a hentai that follows that release structure, but
gotcha.
I would have.
Gotcha.
I would have. Yeah, I thought Domestic Girlfriend, but then I was like, no, that doesn't work. But yeah, Attack on Titan. It's the anime that got me into anime in general. You know, not my first anime, but like that.
But like got you into the community of
right,
anime.
like seeking out anime specifically.
Oh my God.
It's coming to a close.
It's so crazy to think that it'll actually be over.
Uh-huh.
I had it kind of hit me recently that I was not excited,
Yep.
but I was excited. So just to put things in perspective here, y'all, as those of you who are coming in, welcome to the most epic of
podcaster.
podcasters, because
It's 159. Isn't
159.
it? 159.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Because this is, I think, going to be one of the first shows that I will have seasonally watched that will actually come to an end after multiple seasons.
Right, as opposed to just like
As opposed
one
to
and
just
done
being a one
season
tour.
or canceled but not completed.
No, I mean, like,
Yeah.
like actually fully finished. Think
Yep.
about it, guys.
Uh-huh.
Think about it. This is our time.
Yep.
This is our time.
It's a
don't know
dream
what to
come
say.
true. It's almost like it's Christmas morning. Also, I realized that I ended up donating that old Attack on Titan outfit I had because it never fit. Like,
Yeah.
not even in the original, like, season 2 reactions. It cut off, like, the blood flow to my arms when I was wearing it. It was awful.
That was why your face was so red at those times. That makes
That's
sense.
definitely why it was.
Yeah.
And somehow I ended up donating as well the Green Survey Corps cape with it. I'm sad about that. But
Yeah, and Chad, I'm
Yeah.
seeing a couple of you being like, oof, this is going to be tough on mods. But you know what's funny is that Jacob is actually, prepared for that kind of stuff.
so play nice
don't worry.
or
Or you won't be able to interact with
Yeah,
me through chat.
you'll be eviscerated faster than the Beast Titan when he went up against Levi.
Yeah.
Except you won't get away.
Exactly.
That'll be it. You'll be done.
We've got Bayanort with the 13 months of tier 1 sub. First, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it.
Yes.
NTFTH with the 22 months of Twitch Prime. Dedicate your heart. All your hearts. Shinzo Sasageo! Oh my God. Guys.
The fact that voice
so
is now
excited.
gone from our lives.
No, it remains in our hearts. We
It
dedicated
does.
our hearts
It
to
definitely
not only that
does.
voice, to that man.
The chattest of eyebrows.
Indeed.
Yes, we
indeed.
don't want me to be spoiled either on what is left of the manga, which, by the way, yeah, I know a lot of you wonder, like, hey, when is Jacob going to actually catch up on the manga, since Persona 4 is going to take forever, and then there's the whole idea of the Attack on Titan Season 4 is starting soon, but, like,
Yep,
there's more manga to catch up on. Don't worry, I'm on it. Basically, once the manga is finished, I'm going to do a stream to catch back up. It might need to be 2 streams, but it's all gonna be good.
Okay.
And Caleb will be, shipped off
Far
to
away.
a far
I'll
far
go
away
to
land.
Canada,
Yep,
basically.
he'll go to Canada and then bury himself in snow.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Longing to cross the ocean.
That's
the
right.
sea. Yes.
That's right. Yep.
Indeed. So, y'all, let's talk a little bit about our road to this point.
Yeah.
Let's kind of build this up a little bit.
It's been a
um,
journey.
2013. That's when this whole thing started.
7 years ago.
For most of us. There are
Right.
probably some people that, were manga
Lucky
readers,
bastards. Or sure.
from like the beginning. you
Yes,
know?
I thought you were going to say the lucky bastards that got to just, start watching it on like season 3 or something. rather
Weirdly
than
enough,
waiting.
I know
all
very
that time.
few people right now
Mm-hmm.
who like didn't start watching Attack on Titan after about like what was probably the hypest point? Probably around episode 5.
Yeah, like
Pretty
I
sure
mean,
that's when everyone jumped in because it wasn't
right. It
wasn't
took
like
a while
the
to
first
fully build up
episode or two.
steam. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it would have been like 2014 or 2015 when it really hit its peak.
Really?
Yeah, because it was
Years
like
after it came out?
yep, because the ending, like it's easy to forget, but the ending for season 1 was one of the best cliffhangers I've seen. Like as Titans in the walls, what the shit, right?
Yeah.
Like that completely just upends everything that you know about the show. And since it was taking a while for season 2, there was a lot of time for it to be like, okay, I don't get another season, so I'll just try and get everyone I know to watch it. That way I can just sort of,
Right.
keep getting that dopamine hit.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
You should react to the Zurich videos. Oh, Nasubi, bold of you to assume that we haven't watched Zurich's videos for Attack on
Indeed.
Titan. I've been a fan of Zurich 23M since the days he made the
Jamie Lannister videos.
no, I don't know if that was the first one, but I think he did some Vikings videos specifically.
Oh
one
yeah, for Ragnar.
Ragnar Lothbrok. That-
You watched that one.
yeah,
Like
I
you
can
you
see
still
you,
watch that one.
Ragnar Lothbrok. I love the show Vikings, but I also really love Zurich's tribute video. I believe it's called The Choice for Ragnar Lothbrok. It's fantastic. So check out that YouTube channel if you want to see some really cool character tribute videos.
Right,
For
'cause-
anime and live action stuff in general.
Right.
It's very
'cause
good.
He has them for Attack on Titan in there.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
Yeah, and there's some Game of Thrones ones in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Baynor with the 100 bits. Question to Jacob and other manga readers. Is the manga over? And if not, how many chapters is it from being over? 1? 5? No spoilers, of course.
So the last time I checked, it was like a couple chapters away from finishing.
Gotcha.
So that's why I've been kind of holding off. It's the last time I checked though, there was no definitive statement because there was still like some debates that Isayama was having with his editor of like, okay, how exactly do we want to handle these last like few like the ending of it, the ending.
Gotcha.
He likened it to basically like studying a shogi game where it's just like, okay, what moves do we want to do here?
Whoa.
So it was like it's going to back then I think it was like it was going to be between like 3 and 5 chapters, and that was I think like a month ago or something. So
Dang.
yeah,
Oh my god.
rough estimate is 4 to 5 chapters. Okay, yeah. Right. It was 1% to 2% left. Yeah.
Jeez.
Right.
Then in some ways, like this is one of the things that Jacob and I have talked about lots off the channel with regards to this, and that is that I feel like I'm almost at that point because I've rewatched Attack on Titan so much. I freaking like studied some of the season 3 stuff that we got towards the end bit with stuff like the backstory regarding the Marleyans and Eldians that I feel like I almost know the 3 ways this can end. Like there's
Eren!
like straight up, like, no, it's not going to be that. It's the Eren, why are you crying?
Oh,
Like
man. Paths, man. They
paths,
just-
man.
Like,
paths.
God.
Like
can
y'all.
we just take a moment to appreciate that Isayama basically took his post-apocalyptic survival show and then added time travel of a sort? Like,
and it doesn't feel like
And it-
dog shit.
and it doesn't feel like dog shit. Like, can we just appreciate the fact that that exists? Because time travel, when it's introduced in a story, either the story heavily revolves around time travel, and you either realize that or you don't realize it. At best, it's something where you didn't realize that it actually was about time travel in a lot of ways.
or like cycles or things repeating
Yeah,
themselves,
exactly.
or-
Like time loops, like you didn't
Yeah.
realize that a character was experiencing a time loop or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Or it's just this is all about time travel, but for pretty much any other situation, usually it ruins a lot of my enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
Like God,
Yeah, seriously.
remember Heroes? Like it's like
Oh God, please don't. Please don't. Don't, man.
so the fact that it's like, oh yeah, time travel. Paths. Yeah, who knows how
Yeah,
this works?
by the way,
but
y'all-
it's awesome and you love it and you're
You
going
better
to love
be
it
caught up
even
on
more.
Attack on Titan season 3 if you're in this podcast. Otherwise, you're gonna want to get the out of here
Right.
because
Yeah.
we're going to blow a lid on everything that happened thus far in Attack on Titan. Because I have had 2 experiences like Attack on Titan in my life with regards to a show or series ending and it giving me that like
Truly satisfying feeling.
no,
Oh.
where it was a thing that I followed like really intently, and I actually got to see the ending, and it involved things that went beyond the initial condition of the human characters in the story, and it went into like freaking sci-fi, crazy, spiritual, philosophical, like you know, it went way too big for its own good in some ways in each of these cases, but I still loved the journey there. And both of those shows are live action. None of those have been anime. Like anime in particular, when it is a longer than like 3-season or 2-season show, you know, couple shows withstanding, you know, they usually don't end at all, like in my experience, or they don't really end that well. You know, sans like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's like the one multi-season anime I think I've watched that I finished, and it's definitively ended.
And you're like, there you go. That's,
right. Yeah.
That's it.
But I don't think I can think of any other anime that I've watched that had a truly satisfying ending after multiple seasons that I basically, you know, watched like as it was like coming out.
Right, and even with like Brotherhood, it wasn't something where you were able to watch it as it was coming out. You know, so like this is
a
almost entirely
beast.
a unique experience that we're going to be having here, and the fact that it's getting to happen with Attack on Titan, God, I love that.
Yeah, like, I know FMAB isn't seasonal. I was just bringing it up as the point of it's the only one that's even close to some of the criteria that I'm bringing up here, where it actually ended. Because all the other shows, if it's like Haikyuu, for instance, I haven't been watching it seasonally, but it's a long-running show that still hasn't ended yet.
Right, like Code Geass ended. Like that's another, you know, that's another one that had that, you know.
Yeah, Code Geass, I would say, is one of those weird ones where I know it ended there, but for some reason they keep pumping out Code Geass stuff to the point where I've ignored all of it. I haven't consumed a single extra Code Geass thing ever, even though I know certain things about like how it's not in the. It doesn't necessarily, you know, subvert the ending of season 2.
Oh, Monster. But, that was a good one. But even then, it wasn't something where we're following it as it's going, right? And there's something
special about as it's coming out,
right? Because it becomes a. I don't want to say it becomes a bigger part of your life, but it kind of does because it's over such a long period of time, right? Even if not to take away from the shows where you watch it, you know, all in one go, like something like Monster or something like that, right?
Right.
But like I've grown up with Attack on Titan.
Yep.
Like. You know,
7
years. That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
That's a long time. So like, that's the fact that I still love Attack on Titan just as much, and in some different ways and for different reasons, but just as much as I did back then. Like I love that because there are so many times where I have shows where I'm like, oh, this is amazing, and yes, there's that little bit of disillusionment that might come in of like, okay, that episode where I was like, oh, this is actually just the best episode ever. It might still be my favorite episode or something like that, but it's not like objectively the best or whatever that means, you know.
Whatever that means.
But I feel like Attack on Titan really has just stood the test of time really well, and now we're gonna get to see it capitulate in its final season when I didn't even think it would get a sequel season. Like
seriously, which is part of the reason why I think it's so powerful that we're here. Anime is in this weird flux state constantly, in that any individual show that you get hyped and getting into, you don't know really almost ever, unless it's insanely popular, like how MHA handles its kind of sequel season announcements and stuff, is that it's like, this will have, you know, next season, see you in that season or something.
Right.
You don't know not only if it's happening, but if you do know it's happening, you don't know when it's happening. There's so many things that you just have to basically kind of sit and chill with. And a lot of shows, in my opinion, are not good hiatus shows, meaning that they don't get better the longer you get to sit with the show.
Right.
Case in point, I actually wanted to bring up some of the shows that we've watched over the course of time where we have to sit in the 6-month, year and a half kind of hiatus land where you're like, oh, this show got better over the course of time while I'm waiting for more seasons. Haikyuu was an example of that. We did not have to wait long in between seasons 3 and 4 actually coming out, but it was a decent amount of time.
Yep.
It was a small amount of time, but over the course of that time, rewatching Haikyuu, it just got better and better in my mind. I so much enjoyed going back and specifically rewatching season 2. Season 2, in my opinion, has some of the best character stuff in Haikyuu almost ever, and fight me on that. I know season 3 has incredible stuff as well, but season 2 just gets into so many of my favorite things about Haikyuu that I just gush about it. And that made the excitement for season 4 when it finally came off of hiatus
that much
so
better.
Much stronger, right?
Right. Whereas with something like one of the ones, I love My Hero Academia.
Sure.
But My Hero Academia is not one of those ones where I would necessarily say that the wait for each additional season makes it better. I'm glad that they do it that way because it makes the show better in my mind because then, they don't have to deal with like filler and things like that, right? You know, it helps keep it a lot more streamlined, a lot more trim.
Yeah.
But it doesn't increase my enjoyment of it inherently, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like
it keeps it kind of flat, if you will.
Right. It makes the product definitely better.
Yeah.
But, you know, my enjoyment doesn't go up as a result of needing to wait for the new stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas with Attack on Titan, it's, oh man, I can't remember the last time there was a show or a story that I could get so excited for. Like, I wasn't necessarily thinking about it all the time when I was waiting for it to come out.
Right.
Because eventually that would just kill me, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as it's like, all right, going back to more of the content, I'm right back there. I don't need to take any more time to sort of like get into it again, you know, like that kind of thing. Like let it be brought back to fresh in my memory. It's just it's like an iconic smell that takes you back to your childhood or something.
Totally.
Like all of a sudden you're just there.
Yeah. It's the Sawano music. It's the crisp animation. It's the 3D maneuver gear.
The Yuki Kaji.
Yeah, the
amazing
Yuki Kaji
vocals.
scream. It's the Hanji squeal of excitement.
Right.
It's Mikasa's stoic look. It's Armin's like pained but hopeful expressions. You know, it's a whole trip. It's a whole package. But specifically, Attack on Titan is nostalgic for us because it was one of the first experiences we had with reacting to something live in the channel.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a good point.
That is something that I cannot truly communicate well. I do not have the capacity to communicate to you guys what that means because when you go back and you look at our cringy earlier reactions just in general, and you can see how much we were different people and stuff like all that from back then.
Yeah, it's a mini little time capsule for
It is
ya.
a time capsule, yeah. One of the things that I remember specifically was Attack on Titan tapped into the obsessive part of my passion. There is an element of passion that I would say is actually somewhat unhealthy, and it is when you attach your identity in some ways to a thing. So a lot of us have like our specific skill or talent that we're good at. So like for me, I love Ultimate Frisbee. Ultimate Frisbee is my obsessive passion that I identify so much with that I got full on depressed like multiple times over the course of COVID because I just can't play. I just can't do it. But like that identification with something usually is in something that I can actively do, you know?
Yeah.
But with Attack on Titan, how do you actively do a show? Well,
just fine.
Just fine, let me tell you. Attack on Titan. Oh my god.
Yeah. This okay, and y'all know, I mean, if you're here for this podcast, you know what we're talking about, right? It's this crazy thing that like cuz okay, Attack on Titan, 2013, 7 years ago. It's easy to just sort of think about that and be like, oh yeah, 7 years ago. But I remember back in the early days of the channel when I would do this thing sometimes where because anime was like one of my biggest hobbies, but now it was turning into a job, it was this thing of, okay, I can't watch any of the good anime that we could end up reacting to. So I ended up actually looking for shit anime that we just wouldn't end up reacting to, right?
Sure.
You know, where it's like, okay, I can still enjoy this, but it's not going to take away from the channel, right? There were so many shows that were basically just bad Attack on Titan style clones, right? Where it's like,
man.
okay, yeah, let's have something that involves sort of walls and then big creatures that, are, humanity's down to its last and whatnot. And it was because of Attack on Titan. Like, not that Attack on Titan invented the idea of giant monsters or something.
Yeah.
But that's something that we can kind of take for granted now, of just the whole idea of the Titans and whatnot. Whereas, like, no. Remember what it was like. Remember what kind of anime were coming out back in the day. Sword Art Online was this new hot thing, right? Yeah. Like, and then all of a sudden, Attack on Titan. Jaeger! Like,
like I remember showcasing Attack on Titan to friends back when season 1 was coming out, and it was like episode I don't know, 20 had come out, and I was like, please watch this show. First episode, drop it to them, and they're either viscerally uncomfortable because of the just dramatic gut punch that it was, seeing all these people die horribly, and Aaron's mom
and all the
getting
overdramatic
eaten.
screaming and
Man,
right.
Like, these are people that had never seen an anime in their life before, getting dropped into Attack on Titan season 1 and being like, I love this, or I'm like, I feel sick, and God, it was such a fun time. And then season 1 went on a hiatus, and I remember having this feeling of that's okay, season 2 will come out maybe in a year or two, no big deal. And I think you lasted about 4 months, Jacob.
No, I lasted longer than that.
You lasted a while.
Because I rewatched season 1 a good 4 or 5 times, just with introducing people to it and rewatching it on my own time and things like that. And then I basically dove into Tumblr. And got into the shipping and the fanfic writing, the RP and everything.
A true Attack on Titan fan of culture.
Yeah, exactly.
You were in the memes, man.
Oh yes.
Berutoruto.
No, there was literally a thing where it was okay, let's list all the named characters of Attack on Titan in this giant big circle, right? With lines that connected every character to every other character. And it's all right, how many of these ships do you recognize? Not oh, imagine that ship, but yes, you're familiar with that ship.
You know the lore, the
deep,
extraneous, expanded universe lore.
Because there was a crazy void that happened where it was all the demand and no supply.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And
so true.
And the fandom went to work.
Oh
right?
my God.
And all of that stuff is basically kind of gone now. That's actually something that I'm a little bit sad about, because we're kind of never going to get that back because there's no need for it. Because we're actually getting content.
We're getting new content that is in some ways filled with triple the depth compared to season 1. One of the things that is really fun about rewatching Attack on Titan is you kind of look back at season 1 with the, we thought this was good.
Right.
We look back on season 1 and we're like,
yeah, compared to the later seasons, season 1 is nowhere near as good.
Season 1 is just exactly what it needed to be.
Yep, exactly. It was what it needed to be for that time and everything, and it's wonderful, and I still love it. But so much good stuff that's
much good stuff
coming out in the later seasons. And as for, I can't talk to you guys about favorite ships really, because it's not about what is my favorite ship. I mean, I'm a Mikasa Eren shipper
to the core.
I'm also very much a Connie Sasha shipper. But I'm also I can't open that can because it just won't stop. But suffice to say, I could talk for a while about all the different ships of Attack on Titan. But
but I want to talk about that weight and how it shaped a lot of my opinions with regards to season 4, because around, I would say, year 3, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, I believe, was coming out, and it was basically the moment where I gave up hope. I
Oh.
remember basically the people, and I still didn't understand what it meant to have an anime studio and all that stuff. I was really new in my whole anime
journey.
fandom journey and things like that. And the channel was like a thing I didn't even have in my mind at the time. And somewhere when Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress was coming out, it might have even been like year 2, I think, that Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress was coming out. Or it was when Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress finished, that's right. And there was still no, like, Attack on Titan Season 2 news.
Yep.
I was, like, looking at every clickbait article, rumor,
Here's
thing
an
about...
Attack on Titan game. Here's another Attack on Titan game.
Rumored that Attack on Titan Season 2 is coming out. And you look at the article and there's nothing substantiating anything like that.
Or better yet, it was made on April Fool's and you're only finding it in September, you know?
Sure, something
Yeah.
like that. But what it made me kind of do was I kind of put Attack on Titan in the back of my mind and was
Yep.
like, yeah, you know, it's fine. But
I need to forget about you for
I
now,
need to,
for
I
my
need to
own
move
sake.
on for my own
Yeah.
sake. Exactly. But because of that, there was this brief period of time where a lot of the things that I had gleaned from season 1, because I went full analysis mode like the year after season 1, but I stopped that.
Right.
So when season 2 finally came back, I didn't necessarily have the analysis kind of thoughts regarding the whole thing. I was in hype mode of, oh my god, we're actually getting this. So when season 2 started to come along and it recontextualized some characters that definitely needed the focus and the attention there was this lost soul of mine that was connected via paths in the moment, and
It's all connected.
it
my
all
dudes.
started to weave back together again after episode 6, you know.
That's right, it was, wasn't it? Yes. So this is one of the other things that because I think that's right. I think that's right. Season 2's premiere was on April Fool's. My birthday is April
Oh, that's
Fool's,
right.
y'all.
That's right.
My favorite show, the one that I never thought would get another season, got another season, and it started on my birthday.
That's right.
Like, it's like paths. I'm convinced that, you know, because of paths, this was all aligned so that way, just for me, Attack on Titan Season 2 would come out on my birthday.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes, exactly.
No, I did not watch Attack on Titan Junior High. I started watching it and I was like,
You couldn't handle it.
I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they had the whole like, Reiner, are we really doing this?
Oh right, I
now?
heard about that.
Before season 2.
That was
like-
something I think was brought up like so fast once we had the big reveal in season 2. People were like, "Caleb, did you know?" And I was like, "No." Really?
Yeah, it was just there.
The dumbest, funniest thing. But season 2, if season 2 didn't go the way it went, so to speak, and it was more of kind of a season 1 style, I don't think I would have treated Attack on Titan like an analysis thing to be studied in depth.
No, I totally get that.
Because
Yeah.
Attack on Titan season 2 was fundamentally different than season 1.
Yep.
It
And
was,
I loved it for it.
it was not the same show, really.
Nope.
And I remember a lot of people in those latter, 5 episodes or so, basically in the point when Mikasa and Armin think back to their past and they eat the bread, you know? That was the episode where I remember, afterwards being like, oh, there's a lot of people that aren't really feeling this season as much now. They're like, oh, we had the big reveal, now we're chasing,
Right.
Titans and going to the trees and
Having
stuff.
all these conversations.
All these flashbacks and
Yeah,
not a lot of time moving and stuff. But when we got the conversation in the tree branches,
Oh, it's
I
still in
remember-
our notes.
yeah, it's still in our notes, but I remember having this moment where the show
identity
basically
crisis,
the
like
show
we want.
basically said, Caleb, get ready. This is going to be the moment that you've waited for. That tease of the Titans in the walls and there's so much more going on than what meets the eye. I was like, that's cool, but that's the world, right? The world is its own amorphous thing that can be written at the whims of the creator and stuff. But characters, there's these laws of realism and things that you have to be able to accept their character development and characterization as it's given, because it has to fall in line with what you saw previously. And then Reiner started to get peeled open. Ymir started to get more complicated.
Yep.
Things with Bertolt started to make sense. And it was just this moment where I was like, wait a minute, guys.
Yep.
Attack on Titan.
And you were spoiled because, like, not spoiled in the literal sense. I mean spoiled in the fact that Attack on Titan season 2 gave us the Ymir backstory there, right? Like,
I still remember you having this moment of like, wait, why is this happening?
Well, hold on. Like, because I think I actually hadn't read that part of the manga yet at that point, where it was like, wait a minute. And then later, like, after we recorded that, I was like, I know I'm not fully caught up on the manga, but I don't remember that being there. So then I went and checked, and it's like, oh yeah, it wasn't. And then I caught up on the manga, and I'm like, but yeah, like
that bit in season 2 changed so much of how I viewed Attack on Titan as a show.
Yeah.
Because I realized that there was a grand character-driven narrative that was happening beyond the world-driven narrative. So I'm going to bring up the 2 shows that I didn't mention previously that were live-action shows that I followed mostly seasonally, not really the first one as much, but the second one definitely. And then when I got the ending, I was ultimately... I just kind of had to accept it and just let it go. And I've never really gone back and rewatched the series of either of these, but I've rewatched individual episodes of one of them, and it'll make sense why I'm bringing these up here. But this is no Game of Thrones. I'm not even.
We don't speak.
I'm not even going to be talking about Game of Thrones. No. You guys are going to be surprised about the second one.
Yeah,
I'm literally going to clickbait you with it. You won't believe the second one.
I think I'm positive. I'm positive. I know what one of them is. I think I know what the second one.
Yeah, the first one is Lost.
Right.
So the first one is Lost. Lost, I started following towards the end of season 4 because of the writer's strike, and that was something I heard about because I was watching Heroes at the time when Heroes was going through the writer's strike. But Lost, I went hard into the community of, but I was coming in the latter half where everyone else was
had already been done.
Yeah, everyone else was already way ahead of me and stuff, so it was cool to get into the whole thing of that there. And you guys have heard me talk about Lost plenty of times, so I won't bring that up and stuff, but Lost had good character-driven stuff going on for the most part. It was where the world was a little wonky. But there was another show that was doing the massive cast soap opera thing that was building towards a dramatic world conclusion kind of thing, and that was Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica had
that takes me back.
So many problems, but it was one of the few shows that I followed religiously in the seasonal release.
So say we all.
And I loved the build-up towards it.
So good.
However, once it actually ended, I kind of had that, like, that moment where I kind of, like, got above water finally and breathed, like, fresh air, and I was like,
I don't know if I want to dive back down.
I don't know if I want to go back down into that. And it was just, like, wow, okay.
Oh, man. I don't know how I didn't think of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, because you and I were watching that one
together. We were watching that
one
together, and that was...
But, guys, Attack on Titan has given me that whole experience all over again. Plus it's an anime. Plus it's actually growing to be better the longer it goes.
I know, and that's such a rare thing.
Which gives me so much hope that the actual final season will go into a lot of the things that I'm really hoping to go into, which I'm going to be talking about here with Jacob.
Well, and something that I want to point out here is that all 3 of those shows share some similarities. One, they're very kind of trippy when they want to be, or suspense, what's going on kind of a thing, right? But also, towards the end, all of them had big shifts in tone, or, what was happening.
What the story was pointing us towards.
What the story was pointing us towards, right?
Yeah.
Both of those other 2 shows, Battlestar Galactica and Lost,
they lost their way.
Yeah, they did. And they didn't have a badass, kick-ass Hiroyuki Sawano track to, bring them back into port. So, Attack on Titan has that same thing though.
Mhm.
The freaking Marlians and everything, right? Time travel, for God's sakes, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's about as big of a
Yeah.
of like a change from the original show and what it seemed like,
Right,
as you can get.
it's somehow threading the needle of so many landmines right
Yep.
now. And I
Uh-huh.
still think that they actually jumped into a few of them in the beginning half of season 3 in terms
Sure.
of like pacing and stuff like that. But guys, when we finally got, episode 20 of season 3 and we had that moment where Grisha learned about the cruelty of this world and we got to see
Yep.
how the cycle had been repeating and potentially was always going to be repeating.
That's the only way to save Armin and Mikasa.
Who are they?
I don't
Wait,
know.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that right now. Guys, this show has somehow gotten to this point where the final season is coming, and I still feel like we as I'm drawing a line now between the two of us here.
No, yeah,
meaning
go
I'm
for it.
talking to those of you that are anime onlys with me. I still don't feel like we're ready.
I don't either.
Like, like I have a few things that I'm pretty sure are going to happen, and they're of the mind-shattering variety where things just could go crazy, and yet I still feel like even though, once you get towards the end of a series, you can kind of tell that there's only a few ways that the story can collapse in on itself and have a truly well-rounded end.
Yeah.
And yet I don't feel like I'm ready. And that was when I tweeted a while ago of I think my heart just caught up with my head about the fact that Attack on Titan season 4 was ending. And it was Mikasa's poor broken smile of
Yeah.
it's this is ending, guys.
If you think this has a happy ending,
Yeah.
you haven't been paying
You haven't
attention.
been paying attention.
Uh-huh. Right.
God.
And don't worry, chat. So not only have I been practicing my poker face, but Attack on Titan, I know is not something that I have an issue with as far as poker face goes, because there is conviction there.
Oh, yeah.
Like paladin kind of conviction. I am not going to spoil this for Caleb. Caleb will have that wonderful experience, and his mind will be blown. It will be wonderful. So, yes, anytime he's completely off or maybe spot on, this is all you'll see.
Oh my God. You
And-
guys listening to TKT Beach episode credits OST? I've been listening to that blasting on loop. Oh, the final
been listening to that
episode's soundtrack? No, I haven't.
But let's talk about that ending.
Final episode?
Because why not?
Sure.
Because there's the
Let's
whole thing
do
of,
it.
getting to the beach and everything, and that's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
But, the end credits. We got some tastes of the future, it seems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guys.
Not quite as crisp and crystal clear as the third season, part one.
Yeah.
Or part one of the third season, but,
Yeah. One of the things that I am terrified of personally, is the idea that Eren, as a human being, has been slowly but surely been whittled away. And when we finally get to see the sea, and Armin, Mikasa, Hanji, Levi, the rest of the squad, they're all there, and they're enjoying freedom.
Ah, yes.
This
Isn't
is
it wonderful?
This is
Isn't it
what
great?
we've been fighting for.
Yep.
We're here, we're free.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, we're on an island.
Are we really free?
Are we really free? We look out across the sea. I don't know who's out there.
But there's
They're
enemies.
enemies.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would say almost all of them should primarily be enemies.
Probably.
Because
Probably.
if we have anything to go on based on what the past little thing with Grisha set up, is that the Marlians are the dominant dominant force in the world. Like think about this on that scale. It's just the idea that the Marleyans like they're over there.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the technology.
Yep.
We have the technology, and yet they've been, in the know, whereas everyone on Paradise, we don't. We just got into the know.
Yeah, exactly. They're joining a fight, or a war rather, more like is what they're getting themselves into, and they don't even know who their enemies are.
Right.
They don't know how many of them are. They don't know anything about them really, other than what limited info they have. Yep.
And
I'm sure that's going to go well.
We're going to be fighting for freedom. Like, do you realize how like screwed up this is going to get? Like, this is something where at the very end you see an Eren who is just tired.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy needs to just sleep.
Yep. Well, give him a few more years and he will forever.
Yeah. That. Yeah. But he doesn't have time for that.
Nope, he does not.
And let's be real. Will humanity let him?
Will he let himself?
Will he let himself?
Like, I mean, come on, let's be real. Eren has never exactly been the kind of person. He's got that shonen protagonist energy, but he's not in a shonen protagonist world. So, yeah.
God, we're here, and I have so many theories, but let's just talk a little bit about what we were given. We have the episode right here and available so that we can look at the little kind of end credit scene that they gave us, so that we can have a little bit of an idea of like some things that might be either referenced to happen or at the very least be a focus in general. And so the end credits little montage kind of clip thing, it very much feels like the more relaxed version of the trippy end credits bit in part 1 of season 3. And we get a couple things. We get a city by the water. We get someone holding what looks like a bolt action kind of
sort
basic,
of World War I style
like
rifle.
early 1900s rifle.
Trench warfare.
We see trench warfare, sandbags, biplanes, like maybe
some kind of ironclad
style, ships and stuff.
Yep.
But what this
Artillery.
is humans fighting humans.
Right. And I love that they cut from the cannon, the howitzer or whatever it is, to the rocks from when the season 1 of when the Colossal invaded, and it just destroying everything. Like, oh man.
Then
firing squad.
Then we have a firing squad.
Because why not?
Executing humans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lovely.
And then back to Colossal Titan.
Then we have Eren crying, "I'm going to kill them all."
Right.
Back in episode 2, when he's like, "No, I'm going to slaughter them all."
Yep.
Then you see very kind of
post-World War
kind of
energy
celebration of people like, read all about it. The war's over.
Woohoo!
Yeah, peace. Woohoo! We defeated all of them.
Great.
Then this is one of my favorite little bits that I've analyzed to death is we see a young group of kids here.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they're in school uniforms.
They're all in school uniforms, but there's that little military almost tint to this whole thing here, where you can feel that they've all gone through like training, like mental training.
Most of them, there's the girl that's like, saying something.
Yeah.
But then, there's the one dude on her right that's like, all right, dead, 1,000-year stare.
Yeah.
And then the person on her left and behind her that are sort of like, all right, we're earnest and disciplined,
Serious, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's this? But the cycle continuing. More young kids like Eren were being brought up in an imperfect, cruel world and are being taught basically that they have enemies. You're gonna need to go. You need to go deal with them.
Yeah, that lovely outburst from Bertolt. You children of the devil, right?
Yep.
That's like
And you
originally.
see Aaron crying again. Then we see a child
Yep.
crushed in the rubble. I've never seen this kid before in terms of like it being like it's not a clip from season 1.
Right,
Like
I
this,
don't believe
this
so.
isn't a part from season 1. So it's a thing where we're blending it together. It's all blended together in Aaron's mind too. So
Sure.
he's not able to maybe even identify, what's past, what's present, what's
Well,
future maybe.
well, okay.
I don't know. This is just me
Yeah.
going into crackpot theory territory.
Right, but thematically, it's all very much related because.
Very much
because
thematically related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So while they were like celebrating peace just now, then we see parents holding a child, crying over them, just weeping.
Yep.
Like lost,
When you see parents mourning their children, that's where you know something's up.
Then we have some Berserk style sea of blood bodies just carved up there. Could this be almost like it's in a Titan's stomach,
Well, yeah, there were two things that this shot always made me think of. Is one in the Titan stomach from that one episode in season, I think it's episode 8 of season 1.
Yeah.
And then the dream that Aaron has at the beginning of the show that was like the original end of the show.
Yes.
Where he like sees everyone dead and it's like the 104th.
Right, but that's a bit that is outside primarily.
Right, it's outside, but it's just something that sort of would always reminded me of that.
Yeah. But this one has so much blood that it's ridiculous. Yeah. And then it cuts and then we see a little bit of a flash of white, explosions, smoke off in the distance,
And the flowers again.
Almost as if it's the perspective of someone lying down on the ground, kind of waking up
To a ruined world.
Yep. Oh, and then paths directly after that. Zooms in on it. The paths overtake the screen.
Right.
Then we go to Aaron, and I'm 99% sure that's a back shot of Aaron there.
I believe so.
Yeah. He looks like he's just kind of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have someone in a military outfit holding the little
The shell.
the seashell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That Armin was holding when he was thinking about whether or not they would be free after going through all this. So
Yeah.
guys, I'm hyped as hell for season 4, but I want to see how hyped you guys are because a lot of you are probably people that have read the manga, and a lot of you are probably ones that are like, oh no, I'm right with you, Caleb. Like, I have my theories. I'm so excited, but I have like no idea what's gonna happen. Jacob, did you read that message already? Sorry, from Baconort, the 100 bits.
Gotcha. Yeah, Baynor. Thanks for the 100 bits. I wonder, Jacob, don't you somewhat regret reading the manga and not having the pleasure of reacting to the anime with your own brother unspoiled? Doesn't it cheapen the value of your now only half-blind reaction video, or does being caught up to the manga doesn't make it less worthwhile revisiting it in the anime format? I hope I'll love it, whether it be full blind or half-blind anyways. So, that's actually brings up a good point of something that I wanted to talk about. My experience with the manga was basically perfect when I decided to actually read it for the first time, because when I read it, it actually perfectly basically ended where season 2 ended.
Gotcha.
So I basically just got season 2 right there. And yes, it's always better listening to Sawano while you get your Attack on Titan story, right? Like that's that doesn't hurt,
It definitely is.
It's I suppose.
Something that should
if,
be nice, yeah.
All things being equal,
Get back.
not gonna say no,
The price of our soul. Now you had to get her.
Yep.
Her.
But
Yeah.
no, I don't regret it at all.
Oh.
Not at all. Like
Yeah.
the Attack on Titan manga works so well as a manga. Like it's and yes, Wit does an amazing job. I love the way Wit brings this story to life. But no, there's no regrets. Yeah.
Nice,
It's
nice. Oh man. So, guys, I think it's about that time. We've done a lot of build up, but now let's actually talk about season 4. So, guys, we got a lot of characters in Attack on Titan, right?
We do. We do.
But they're all on an island right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, first things first. How are we gonna get them all the way over there? You know, what's going to be the thing that will bridge the gap over the waters that divide these two groups of people?
Armin just all picks them up and just carries them across on his shoulder.
Oh, I have ideas about how it will visually look. But first things first. I think one of the biggest things that they'll need to do first is show us a little bit of the crew with Zeke, the Beast Titan, and the walking four-legged, you know,
Pack Titan or you know,
whatever that guy is.
I forget what the name for that one is because I think there have been a few over the course, like, you know, of what people call it, because its face has also changed a bit.
Oh, really?
Like even in the manga, yeah. Because like if you look, this is one of the other things that's kind of cool is looking back at Attack on Titan or early Attack on Titan. Isayama's art was not good. Like certainly
Okay.
as far as how we did the characters. Like
Gotcha. At times.
like
Gotcha.
like Eren and Mikasa, I could not tell the difference. Sometimes,
at
like
times,
like
okay.
I would literally have to be like, wait, do I see a scarf? No, okay, all right, I guess that's Eren.
Yes,
right?
that's Eren.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
But
Cart Titan is the term.
Cart
okay,
Titan,
cool.
yes.
Gotcha. So we've got the Cart Titan, Beast Titan, and the Plot Armored Titan. Mm-hmm. So all three of
Plot
them.
Armored Titan.
Yep. No, it's true. It's true.
it is
true.
It is.
All three of them need to go back. All right? All right? But what's going to happen when they go back? And that is why. That is why I am so excited to see them go back. Because we know a lot about Reiner. Like, not as much as we maybe will eventually.
But a fair amount.
A fair amount. And now we know a lot more about the Beast Titan. Like, quite a bit more.
Oh yeah.
These two, and whoever the Cart Titan is, you know, whatever, but going back, failing, and what that means coming from their perspective, they're going to be like underdogs coming back. And like, we might be saying goodbye to Reiner, like, either really early in season 4, or this is the part that I've been waiting for since season 2, is we get like really, really good, complicated in-depth look at Reiner, the guy that's lost everything. Like, not only lost like his best friend
Well,
Bertolt.
no, he's what? No, well, no.
Good one. Good one. Yeah. No, this poor guy is going to have the worst homecoming ever.
At least he still has his sanity.
I want to laugh like Alucard style, where it's like, just, and then, yes.
And yeah, by the way, when I was exaggerating a little bit, Isayama's art was still good at the beginning, but it compared to what he is doing now, like it wasn't the best. And seeing how much better his art has gotten, it's. But yeah,
everyone
Reiner.
Yeah. Good job, chat. You made the joke. Well done. So, first thing I want is to use Reiner as a perfect way to get us acquainted with Marley. Because you cannot fight an enemy you don't know.
And like have him as a perspective character of sorts, kind of, since we already know him.
Well, we in the writing sense won't enjoy really even a proper, conflict between Marley and Paradise, basically, without some kind of perspective characters on their side to begin with.
Right, because otherwise, how could you care about the conflict?
Yeah,
you can't develop them entirely once you meet.
Right,
This isn't a sports anime where you can just have the game go on for a long time and then do it all in flashbacks in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. And we also can't use characters that were built up via Grisha's backstory entirely, because that was
That
a while ago.
That was a while ago, yeah.
But
and he
also-
didn't really know many people back then anyway.
Right, but also the backstory was not about really introducing characters on the
Exactly.
side of Marley.
It was introducing the fact that there was a world to even know about.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Reiner needs to be that initial focus, and if Reiner dies because this will be his moment and stuff, I cannot wait to feel the emotional plight of this guy, the child soldier,
Yeah.
broken and bred for basically war in this case here, and comes back with nothing and no one. And
Yeah, how many
Zeke-
times has he failed Marley now?
Yeah, Zeke
Like-
isn't his friend necessarily. Zeke is just the guy he looks up to as like, oh, you're the guy.
Beast Titan. You're
Yeah.
the dude.
Right,
yeah.
right.
mhm,
Like him and
right.
Bertold had the hero worship of like, oh my god.
Like, oh, that's awesome. Also, oh, we really must have fucked up if they're sending him over. Okay.
Yeah, good point.
Like,
yeah.
because, like, let's just do a tally here. So,
Yeah.
they go over with 4 Titans. That's a lot of Titans, right? How many Titans are there total? I forget, 7 or 9 or not a lot of Titans.
I've got it in my notes, but
I believe it's 9. Yeah, 9
Nine.
Titans.
Nine
Right, right. How
Titans,
did I
yep.
forget that? 9 Titans. They sent over 4 of them, right? That's a lot. They didn't even have the attack Titan, as we came to understand, right?
Right,
So
right.
and who knows how many of the other Titans they had. So that's a lot. 2 of them get lost. No, sorry, no. 3 of them. He's able to recover 1, bring back Ymir, but 2 of them end up getting lost, and they still don't get the coordinate.
Yeah. Then they
Yeah.
all try again.
Mm-hmm.
Bertolt, Reiner, Zeke, and they bring another one in to kind of reinforce things,
Exactly. Yeah.
and fail again.
Uh-huh.
Now things are almost, at least in terms of how I would see things with regards to, like, from a war standpoint, it's almost, I would say, something where like every one of our protagonists and stuff, they might have a small advantage. They might have the ability to come in and do some serious damage. And I would say primarily that's just because of now it's Armin and Eren
Right.
potentially working together.
Yeah, like imagine if Eren is like, "Oh, that Beast Titan trick, that was a good one. Hey, Armin, get in a barrel." Like,
I have theories about those two.
yeah.
And the moment where they kind of look at what they're doing and go, oh shit. Oh no. We have, like, literally, I want Eren and or Armin to have that moment of, I am become death.
I mean, we
like-
literally had Bert doing a nuke explosion when he,
Yeah.
like, so
Right. Yeah. But that's, no offense, but that feels like nothing compared to what could potentially happen.
oh yeah, that
given
was an
Eren,
unpopulated city.
well, not only that, but given that Eren has, like,
The-
potentially the power of,
Oh,
like,
the rumbling, the
like the full-on ability to bring, like, everything down. Like,
Right.
like this could get that bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
So
There's
Yeah.
lots of stuff at stake here.
oh, I have not watched the trailer. No.
Yeah, nope.
The main thing that I know is I have seen a poster that had some of the design changes.
Gotcha.
That there's going to be, some obvious visual differences on things. So that's just because it's a different studio
Right.
doing it. So it's going to look slightly
Oh yeah, that is. Although I think Wit was always a subset of Mappa, so hopefully it's not too.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be that different, if anything. But we are in for it, guys. Because what they've been building up with Eren is that he's losing touch, with regards to his humanity.
Oh yeah, how can
He's-
you not be jaded at the very least? After everything that's happened and the whole
And what he's now
sacrificing.
remembered.
Well, yeah, that too. But like
Yeah.
the whole thing, like Armin was bringing this up since the like, and Erwin
Thank you,
too.
thank you for the reminder of that, GLaDOS. Yes, Wit is not a part of Mappa; is a part of Production
Oh,
IG.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. I was
Yes.
gonna
Thanks.
say,
Thanks for the
it
reminder
doesn't-
of that. Yeah.
I didn't remember which studio they were a part of, but when you said that, I was like, I don't feel like that's true.
Yeah, that's another thing of me saying that Madoka Magica was done by Madhouse. But
Oh, right,
but the
yeah.
whole idea of rejecting humanity, JoJo, and how much what do we need to sacrifice, right? Whether it was Erwin watching Eren just tear up Sheena, right?
Yeah.
Or the city inside. I forget what the name of the city was that they were in. Or okay, yeah, now we're going to go attack, and two Titans, one being the colossal Titan. Oh, this doesn't at all feel like it could go badly.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So we've got Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Levi, the squad, everybody and stuff like that. But as of right now, and this is one of the things that I am rather excited about if they explore this, because I really hope that this is something that feels like it is deserved that they do, is that right now, they've won. They've actually beaten back Marley to the point where there shouldn't be any immediate reason to attack unless they are in that awkward situation. This is the one I want to bring up, where it's we should attack first so that they don't actually, get us.
Get the chance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
And
it's
that will require planning, preparation, but also an agreement of what an attack that would stop them from attacking actually means.
well, and if they could even do something like that, like
Well, True.
they don't
Yeah.
know what is on the other side of that ocean, but it could theoretically just be a whole other world, right? Like at best Marley is a regular sized country, and that's all they have to deal with.
Yeah, but that doesn't even really feel right though, because at the very least, they're a people that has titans. How have
and
they
technology
and technology? How have they not gone and
conquered
done
everything.
what humans do and gone and conquered
Yeah,
basically everything? Because that was what Eldia did. Eldia basically, with the Titans, went, and now again, we don't know everything with regards to history, because
Sure.
history is written by the
victors.
yeah. So
Yep.
we don't know exactly with regards to that, but we know that the Titan part is at the very least, legit. We're seeing evidence of that right now. But I think it's logical to assume that a power base that had those weapons, the Titans, yeah, they would probably go out and subjugate humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that Marley is willing to put all this resources into getting the the founding Titan back, essentially, but they are not already a dominant power base out in the world at large. Yeah, so that's going to be its own thing as well.
Yeah,
'Cause
no
we
other countries were going to paradise, even if they were out there.
Yeah, or at the very least, it's something where we're going to have to discuss who are the people fighting, in that little bit at the end of season 3's credits there.
Sure.
Who
If
are they
that's
having
something
trench
that's happening
warfare
in the
with?
present, then
Yeah, are these people trying to defend their country from Marley attacking or something? Is this Marley trying to
Given
defend
some freedom?
itself? Well, yeah, sure, you can definitely make that comparison. But if anything, it could be something where this, this nation, this country, this people, or what have you, they've known nothing but war, whereas
Sure.
they're just constantly in conflict. So there's so much I want to talk about with that. But our main characters,
Yep.
they're going to have to make the decision of
Right.
like, do we kind of become the aggressors here and go and retaliate,
Yep.
for all the pain and anguish and suffering that, we've dealt with all this time, igniting again another, fiery spin on the cycle of violence and hatred and war.
And yet, do they really have much of a choice? Because Marley seems pretty dead set on making sure that they don't have the big red nuke button.
True. True.
So they've already sent, multiple waves to attack in Titans. What's, could they really actually have peace? What about all the other Eldians that are outside of paradise? Right?
Good
that are in the
point.
concentration camps and everything.
Yep.
What do we do about that?
Yep. It's one of those things where people make so many excuses in general when they're about to go to war so that everyone feels justified because we're about to go slaughter, our own people.
We're about to do
essentially.
some pretty unjustifiable things. So,
Or just a lot of violence. A lot of people will
Right.
die. And there is a pretty valid, I would say, point that's been kind of reignited as a point of discussion with regards to the fact that the people who were essentially the given the god Titan powers, essentially all tried to push pacifism eventually.
yes.
Why is that? Did they know something that, we didn't? Did they start to tap into paths and seize things that, maybe were thinking about actually the idea of violence and war and all that is not really the answer?
Right.
Yeah. Kind of interesting to think about, huh?
And yet, even though Eren now has the founding Titan, that is not something that he has to worry about because, he doesn't have royal blood or anything. So, or not really, because it's not actually, or no, he doesn't. Right. Because, Grisha's other wife was royal blood. Right. Hence Zeke.
Right.
Yeah.
Hence the...
So he doesn't have his mind isn't actually tapped into the beyond. So it's all one fairly regular-ish mortal person with all this power
phenomenal
and pressure
cosmic
and
power.
yeah,
Right. Living space. So,
Yep.
You guys who have watched our reactions and stuff like that have seen that we had an extremely long discussion regarding season 3, episode 20, because of the backstory.
I think that was our longest discussion we'd ever done. It was like a 2-hour discussion or something.
I think it was the longest discussion
Yeah.
we've had ever for anything as a single video on the channel ever. But the reason for that was not just because of all the world stuff that they brought up, but it was because of the idea that Grisha, and by extension the owl, whose name was...
Eren Kruger.
Yeah, Eren Kruger. Are
Paths.
these two basically repeating certain aspects of Eren, and we're pointing
knows?
towards a potential finale where this all comes down to basically Eren having the choice of, who's worth saving, who should be saved. Are we okay with this iteration? Do we want to try again? Do you have the will to try again? Like, there's so many things that they could go through with that. And that's all stuff we just have to basically just sit, wait, be patient, and hope for potentially happening in season 4, guys.
And I'm really excited for this final season because it's something where, and we kind of mentioned this with the whole idea of it did that whole big tonal shift with the introduction of Marley and all of this. But I almost see this final season that we're going to be getting as almost a different show, right? Because everything has so fundamentally been changed at this point that we are going to be watching Attack on Titan,
Right.
But I feel like it's almost going to be like, Attack on Titan 2 or something like that. Like, like this is not the end, or something like that, right?
I gotcha.
Like, because thinking back to season 1, like it's a totally different show. It's absolutely different, and I'm curious to see how the fans respond to it, because it's not like it'll be doing things in the same way that things happened before, because, you know, things like, oh yeah, what happens with all the stuff inside the walls? What happens with, you know, retaking Wall Maria? You know, those are all in the past. We've gotten to the in media res, and now we're into new territory, right? We're not in Kansas anymore. You know, so what happens?
Yeah, one of the things that is kind of my kind of encapsulates this, because this is something that I'm genuinely worried about as well, is that it won't necessarily be a good or a bad ending. It'll be a divisive ending. And one of the reasons why I would say that I feel like that is something that could happen is just take the OP for season 3 part 1 of Attack on Titan. I think the OP of season 3 part 1 of Attack on Titan is indicative of how the fan response will be towards some aspects of the ending.
So,
because I feel like that bit of just Eren looking up and we're only seeing his back, and then the kid comes by and tugs at him and stuff, it's like, do you guys remember when Attack on Titan had like hope and like goodness, and our characters would smile as they were killing Titans together? And
now
we're gonna save humanity.
Right. The best thing we can get now is during a beach scene, by the way, that the characters can sort of smile and you can see how dead they are.
Right.
Right? Like there's just pain and suffering in their eyes. Right? And that's for the best of them. Not all of them can even do that. You know. So like
oh my god. Like, I can see it right now.
Oh, I'll bet you think you do.
Yeah, I think I do. So one of the things that I've talked with Jacob is like going to happen in like my mind. Like, this is in my fan fiction, but it is in my like 100% it's going to happen fan fiction, is that Eren doesn't seem to have the energy to get angry.
Yeah.
But if Eren ever got angry again,
what would that even mean?
What would that look like? And in my opinion, what it looks like is Eren being like straight up a harbinger of the apocalypse. Like a full on, I bring the end of it all. And whether or not he's actually like fully even in this, there's an aspect of someone who gets deconstructed down to their base kind of points of where they're basically almost ready to give up. And if they end up then attaching to some emotion, some kind of strong focus point so that they can accomplish a goal, a task, or something like that. Which in this case, with what we have in season 3, is giving freedom to basically all those that are his comrades, his friends, his family.
Sure.
And yet, I don't think he has ultimately the capacity to do that.
Well, and you could see it in his face when he said, because one, there's what he said. If we kill everyone over there, can we finally be free?
No, that's not how it works.
This is
Eren.
Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones' locker, and the compass is just going in circles.
Yep.
He's basically saying, if we just kill literally like everyone that's not here, does that mean we can be free?
Oh.
Like, you know, like...
Sure, no one else would bother you,
Right, because there'd be no one else.
But you know how quickly then, if that was something that was legitimately even considered, how quick things would turn to inner conflict just because it's like...
Oh, well, Eren definitely didn't look internally conflicted when he said that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
At least that's good.
Exactly. There's no way that this goes in a good direction if Eren gets to season 1 types of anger again.
Oh yeah, well,
it's important that
can he like
it's in some ways I would say he actually does not have the capacity for that anymore.
Like
he's spent.
Yeah.
So
the deaths of the characters on the inside and the sides of them and everything have been happening already.
Exactly. So I would say that the best bet for Aaron, is that he gets to rest and he doesn't have to go through this vicious cycle again. That is the
And
best
Mikasa
ending
can
we
hold
can.
his hand as he dies.
Exactly. And then if he then wakes up at the end and it's the Aaron, why are you crying? And it's the crying of we're free.
Rather than, oh, shit, it's all repeating.
It's all
again.
repeating. And it'd be perfect if they don't actually give any conclusive kind of whether or not it worked.
that would be such a dick.
I
punch.
think that's legitimately. I think that's what has to be the ending, is that you have to give it open in some ways to basically say, now
Sure.
Isayama points at all of you and are like, are you willing to basically let go and stop the cycle of violence and hatred and stuff?
Or will you continue the whole speech from what's his face, Sergeant
Yeah.
Gross or whatever?
I love.
You know?
I wrote down his entire monologue. It is one of my favorite
Gross,
parts.
yeah.
Major Gross.
Yep.
People want to see cruelty. Peace is wonderful, but it isn't enough. Live like today's your last. I've faced the cruelty of this world and understood it. Faye's death was educational. Losing a son would be hard for me too. If only you weren't Eldians, you poor things. Eldians' true form is Titans. All they need is spinal fluid from Titans. Eldians must be wiped out. They aren't human. You're murderers and feel no remorse for the planned destruction of Marley. Like, that bit, you could totally see, like, a twisted version of that Aaron could say. If it basically comes to the point of where he's like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to establish some kind of peace. Like, I would love to have that moment where Aaron's like, no, we have to find some way to do this peacefully.
Right.
And it's his own
last
comrades.
vestiges of hope, basically.
Right. And it's his own comrades that are conflicted as well. They're like, no, we have to end this. We have to be definitive in victory here. There's no way we can do any kind of half-measured approach here. And then other people are like, wait, let's think about how Aaron feels in all of this, though.
Wait, where do you think there's a place for feelings in a potentially apocalyptic war?
This whole thing is just leading towards a moment where, like, getting eaten by Titans, I feel like Aaron's going to get torn apart before he gets rebuilt back up again, if at all.
He's already been torn apart.
No, I know, but I feel like he can definitely get actually torn asunder.
Right.
There's a difference between being frayed at the edges.
Yeah, exactly.
And being split limb from limb.
Because you never truly know what your limits are as a person.
God.
Or what your character's limits are.
True.
So just suss them out, Like, why not, you
my
think
God.
they're broken, but maybe there's whole reservoirs of broken you haven't seen yet, Could be.
Oh my God. But with Aaron having like all this power at his potential disposal, but also having his best friend Armin having the Colossal Titan, I want to see literally this picture. Armin and Aaron coming up out of the water towards a city like the one we saw at the season 3 end credits thing. And it's too late. It's too late for all of you. And then the destruction is just rampant. There's nothing they can do. There's absolutely nothing they can do. Sure, send in, your Titans or whatever.
Or your howitzers or,
or your planes or your whatever. This will be a full-on kaiju attack. That's what I want.
Some King Kong, like
King Kong and unstoppable regenerating, like full-on,
Right.
like
Yeah.
monstrosities.
the
You're
machine-
firing bullets at a Titan. Like Aaron hardens bullets, like fire at him. Ping, 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 ping.
or worse, yeah.
You
you hit me. So
that heat wave blast from the Colossal Titan, Armin does it.
Yeah.
Planes just fall out of the sky on fire.
Oh yeah. Well,
Sweeps his arm, just destroys. Like it's going to be
there was that
colossally just catastrophic.
There was that part in the season 2 OP, even though it didn't actually end up happening in the show, where the Colossal Titan just breaks a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not going to be anywhere near the ending. I feel like that's just what we have to expect once the conflict fully starts. Because one of the things that's kind of been a trademark, I would say, of Attack on Titan that's a little bit of a pacing nightmare is that they'll drop you in scenes every once in a while with not as much explanation, and then they'll cut back and kind of show how
Start with the action and then kind of
show the plan that built up to things there.
Right.
It's the whole thing of
Annie and
Annie. Yeah.
right. Even though it was blatantly obvious,
Yep. Stuff like the whole Shiganshina battle in general. We got like lots of things played out before we would cut back and show different plans and stuff like that with regards to, other characters. But that was more like jumping perspectives and things like that.
We're not going to explain how the Thunder Spears work until, we're about to use them.
Right.
Yeah.
Or stuff like with the whole way they forced essentially Reiner and Bertolt to reveal themselves.
Oh, sure.
On the wall.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Poor guy that discovered them. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my like big like I think almost easy prediction. Like it just has to happen some way like that. But the other thing is that if this show has that near the beginning, what's the majority of this story about? Like where does the meat, like the slow stuff, the really like concentrated, just kind of characters interacting, talking, the slow stuff, basically. Where is that primarily coming
because that is, like, I love the fast stuff in Attack on Titan, but my favorite parts of it are the slow stuff.
I think so, too.
It's the call of silence coming in at just the right moment when Ymir realizes she's finally gotten her humanity again, right? That kind of thing. Not necessarily the, Erwin's death charge against the Beast Titan, as much as I fucking love that part, right? Like,
Susumu! Yeah, there's two death charges of that regard.
Oh yeah, well, and that was one of the other things. So yeah, specifically with the question that someone asked about the whole idea of regretting reading the manga. I almost said watching the manga, but that's because that's how good it is in some parts. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
that part of the end of season 2, and I've said this before, but that was a transcendent experience.
Yeah,
like it's just so good.
I remember talking to you after we had watched it for the first time, and you were having this moment of like,
it's finally happened.
I got to see like one of my favorite moments, and it was better than I could have dreamed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I just love about Attack on Titan, because the manga is absolutely incredible, right? It's incredible. Okay. And yet, because there's so much awesome stuff that comes with the production for Attack on Titan as an anime, Sawano doing the music, which apparently he's not doing it for the final season, which is very sad, even though he's going to be, closely working with them and everything. And then, the moments where Wit just absolutely blows us away and whatnot, and the OPs, Red Swan, forever, always, amen. It's reading the manga is just hyping me up even more for the eventual anime. I can't imagine what it's like for you, not knowing what season 4 is going to entail, and then just knowing that eventually you'll just have to, it'll be here, and we'll start it, and it will start to unfold.
So one of the things that I really want to do.
Oh, Sawano is still doing it? Oh, okay.
Well, okay. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, okay. Someone. Oh, okay. Alongside another guy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but why wouldn't Sawano be involved?
Right. Yeah.
He'd be mad.
Yeah. No. There are levels of insanity, and Sawano not being involved in Attack on Titan's final season basically tops them all.
That would be supreme levels of stupidity.
Why don't we also change Yuki Kaji out for a different actor?
God.
Just thinking about that, like.
It's funny because someone.
Oh yeah. I think I saw that same thing.
What?
Keep going.
No. What were you saying?
Someone mentioned that basically Yuki Kaji went on record to say that when he got the script for season 4 of Attack on Titan, he just cried.
Oh well. Yeah. that fits in my theory. that fits into a lot of my theories in general.
To be fair, there's a lot of season 4, you know.
Right,
So-
of course. I would say that one of the most
Gotcha, GLaDOS. They announced the other composer first. Okay.
oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, but I would say one of the most painful things will probably be just the fact that there will be a lot of near and dear people to Aaron that will die, and that's just going to be something that
That would be the worst punishment, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Because,
he's got to survive.
well,
Like,
no, he's going to die.
well,
He's only got, so
right,
his 13 years
right,
are
but
up.
but that's years from now in that
Right,
regard.
yeah.
That's why one of the things that I'm actually kind of excited about the idea of there being a halfway point in season 4 where they do the whole okay, now you wait a gap anime season
Uh-huh.
before the
Which-
next half comes out later, which I'm so glad that they're doing this more and more with popular anime because
Yes,
then
'cause
it
it
gives
Gives the workforce
half,
a break.
right,
and-
but it gives the second half the opportunity to have quality that surpasses the first half potentially. because
Exactly.
Usually in anime,
It
it's that middle area there.
at best
where
it
the quality-
maintains. Like
yeah,
it usually doesn't
But
get
there's a slight
better.
degrade in quality,
Unless they
usually.
like save for like specific bits to just work crazy hard on. So yeah.
And I would say that season 3 was an example of where that was very important. But one of the things that was rather unique about the transition between season 3 part 1 and season 3 part 2 was that it's like a different season. So that
Yeah.
might actually be the point where they make a different focus entirely with regards to the story. So if the first half has its own kind of arc to it, the next half is an entirely separate arc,
And I
which
think
could
I
then
know-
focus on like a time that's later on in the lives of a lot of the characters, so that we can actually
Yeah.
have a little bit more of dramatic tension regarding things like the time limit for
Oh, sure.
for Titans in general.
And I think I know where that first part of season 1 break will end up being.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, especially since they said that it was going to be like 16 episodes or 14 episodes for the first part.
Yeah,
Because like when they
I heard
announced
about
season
that.
2, for instance, I was like, oh, okay, I'm pretty sure they're going to end it at the part where they ended up ending it, right? Because it's just the perfect place to end it. When season 3 came along and they started taking the pace that they did, I was like, wait, hold on. If they're going this fast, then that means they're going to be ending after we get the whole Marley reveal, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. This is speculation. It was not said. Okay, gotcha. That rumor about there being 16 episodes gets my hopes up that it's definitely going to be split. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a rumor. Okay.
Gotcha. But
the whole
I would not be
season-
surprised.
The whole season 3 part 1's quality animation being better. I could totally see that being the case if I was to look at it a little bit closer. But I think that's more just the fact that in my mind there were like 2 really big highlight moments with regards to animation in season 3 part 1 that are just unequivocally one of the best animation moments in all of Attack on Titan with zero contest.
even just some of the best animation I've seen.
There's
Like-
just some of the best stuff, we've seen in an action show. Like Levi zipping through the city being chased by
Oh yeah, but yeah,
by the goons and stuff like that. Like that was some of the best
Kenny.
animation.
Yes,
Kenny.
that's one of the ways that you know that like okay, like I love what they did with Kenny as a character, but you
Right.
know within the grander narrative, it's like okay, this is he's not going to be around long, you know.
Oh, Jack the Ripper. I mean Kenny the Ripper. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you know. But yeah, that sequence.
Yeah.
Also, it's one of those other things, and I can't remember if I've said this on camera before, but I'm really glad in a weird way that Red Swan as an OP got the negative flack that it did, because then they made it even better. You know, like they upped the visuals and everything. Then it's like, all right, it was already probably my favorite, but now it's it's definitively my favorite.
Oh man, yeah, Levi versus Kenny. Oh yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah. Oh yeah, Kenny's voice was fantastic. I think that one of the things. I think that one of the things that's rather fun about Kenny, if you think about who he was with regards to what was
Umi?
Umi, yes. And that Umi actually spoke to him about like things that got at the truth of this world and everything. And just the idea of this godlike being that had, ascended beyond probably time and space to be able to, pads, man.
Right.
And Kenny's like, I need
Uri,
to
that's
experience that. Uri, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. That was one of those moments where I was thinking, oh, this is thematically going to be repeated in some way in the future. A moment where a being has transcended humanity and needs to have that gritty, honest conversation with a person who's in the grime of it, in the blood and the muck and the sadness and the despair. Because, that's Attack on Titan for you. That is Attack on Titan for you. Armin might be the one with the dream, but Armin is not the one with the godlike power.
Yeah.
Armin is in some ways the one that has to probably end up saving us all. Like,
I feel like Armin's equivalent is like, to put it into like fate terms, is that he's got Excalibur or something. He's got a castle, a castle leveling, ability or whatever, right? And then the whole idea of the founding Titan is just Aya. Like, and it's just like, all right, Gilgamesh, you have your super whatever thing, But yeah.
I really feel like it was season 1 definitely made Armin one of my favorite characters. But I think it was over the course of season 2 and 3 where Armin kind of became
your hero,
more or less my more or less my favorite character. And there were a couple characters that then got to go up into the graces of like, A tier, S tier, Attack on Titan characters in general. But it was when we had the moment in season 3 where we had to make the decision and realizing that in context, Armin living might be literally one of the biggest impactful decisions in terms of how the course of the story is changed forever because of that moment.
Oh, sure. Like if Eren ever needs a pep talk, because Mikasa can't exactly give Eren pep talks. Like that doesn't really work.
It's weird to say this, but I think we said it in the part 2 discussions a lot for season 3 that Armin is closer to Eren than Mikasa is.
Right?
And
because
that's the pain of Mikasa's character is that she wishes she could be there.
Right, but she's not really. And Erwin definitely isn't the kind of person that would have been able to give pep talks to Eren. Like,
I think one of the reasons why I liked Armin more and more, even though we got less reasons to like him in that regard.
Oh yeah, he ended up definitely going a bit more psycho as the show went on.
Right, but it was because of how much better Eren's character got as time went on.
Right.
So to
Armin lifted up the ships around him, basically. Yeah.
Well, yes, but I was meaning more Eren lifted up the ships around him.
Oh.
Because one of the most important moments in season 3 part 1 was Historia's moment, which lifted up both her character and Eren's character quite a bit.
Yep.
Like that whole sequence scene moment was so powerful for both of their characters to where once we finally got a little bit of quiet time with Eren, Mikasa, and Armin talking again, I was just reminded how much I loved Armin's character.
Yeah.
And
Armin's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm glad Armin survived, but the Mad Lad Erwin with the Colossal Titan would have been insane.
Yeah, okay. Yes. If Erwin had the Colossal Titan,
if he did,
that would boy.
Oh my god.
Cuz Erwin wasn't a bad fighter, but his fighting skills was never what made him special. Imagine him doing a Susume charge as the Colossal freaking Titan. Like your whole thing of like, oh, imagine Armin like coming up out of the water, kaiju style, but imagine it's Erwin and it's just Susume. Like,
oh Jesus, so good. Just to add more about the 16 episode stuff, it makes sense for it to be that due to when TMIT is or probably Attack on Titan is starting. Season 3 Part 2 started mid-April instead of the start of April, which gave it 10 weeks of spring for 10 episodes instead of 12.
Gotcha.
Season 4 episode 1 is the opposite kind. It started in December, which gives it 4 episodes in fall, and the 12 weeks of winter, meaning 16 episodes.
Gotcha.
I see the logic in how that's based, because it's more based around the season release schedule rather than
Yeah, why not take the extra month to work on the season if it's only going to be the regular one core.
Colossal Titan cannot speak, but Erwin can speak with his colossal eyebrows.
Exactly.
Yep. He would just kind of flex them together, and they would create this like rumble of like sound that would be like
the Colossal Titan would just mutate and like sprout like eyebrow wings of freedom and just fly into the sky.
Does the Colossal Titan have lips? I don't think it does.
I don't think so.
So that's probably
it doesn't have skin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It has a tongue though. Right?
Does it?
Should.
I don't know. I think it might.
Chat, get on this. Does the Colossal Titan have a tongue?
Well, because we don't often see it actually even open its mouth, because it has the things there that like keep its mouth, like keep its jaw from
Right.
just breaking.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just got here, but I want to say I freaking love Armin. Never understood why so many hated him.
It's the people that are just like, they have to be badass fighting characters, otherwise it sucks. Well, same people that are like, okay, the OP has to be like super hype, or that means it's automatically awful.
I think that's trivializing it. I think the main reason why is Armin is a specific trope of a character that is often utilized in anime to be basically the butt end of a lot of the jokes and a lot of the things that showcases that they're weak compared to the super almighty protagonist.
And so people go to stories not necessarily for realism, because but
that's why our protagonist isn't super almighty in terms of his personality and stuff like that anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. It has a tongue and it looks like it has lips. Oh, really? Okay.
There's a great cursed image of the Colossal Titan with skin.
Oh. Okay. Then I would actually really like to have a moment where Armin like grumbles something out as the Colossal Titan. I would love to see that. Because in a lot of ways, it serves Bertolt zero way to have him speak in any way during his missions. Because they don't want the people to know that Titans are, intelligent.
Right. Although
doing any of that stuff. So
it might end up being something where only the Beast Titan is actually capable of speech.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. And that makes a lot of sense. One of the things that I've kind of been falling back to as an interesting theory bit regarding how season 3 episode 20 kind of gave us some info regarding Zeke in general is that one of the reasons why his Titan could be so different is that Zeke has royal blood. So a lot of the things that make his Titan unique might be more because of who the wielder is rather than
the Titan itself.
Sure. However, that doesn't necessarily fit in its entirety because, Zeke doesn't necessarily like have this long history with the Beast Titan.
And that could be something like, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Because one of the other things that's always kind of funny, and I think it's not important, so it's not a big deal that it gets like explained or whatever, but the way like some Titans look like they're users, it's like, okay, how much carryover is there when the Titan is passed on to another person? So like with the like with the armored Titan, for instance, it's like, okay, that very much looks like Reiner, kind of. It
really does.
Like
Annie looks like the female Titan.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like definitely.
Right.
Yeah. Which Titan do you think has the best design?
I think the armored Titan.
I think the armored Titan, yeah.
And it might just be because I like armor, but
I think it does, yeah.
But it has it because one of the things that's tough, especially when you get into the idea of Titans, is because they're not literal mechs, in the traditional sense. You can't get too crazy with the design, right? Because it's still supposed to be this, very much biological entity, so how do you do that and make it look unique without making it look like it's like you're putting too much flair on it, And I think the armored Titan does that really well.
Yeah, I think the female Titan has it probably for a close second I think the female Titan has one of the best kind of terrifying facial structures in terms of a lot of the other Titans. I would say that Aaron's Titan kind of feels a little bit weird to me when it has the moments where the teeth are like upper ridges and stuff like that. So it feels the most like I never really liked Aaron's like the hair for the Attack Titan basically. It's just one of the ones in that regard that's just not really a thing there. Oh, you're deleting something?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to delete. Could someone delete the comment by the
Jacob? There's you're gonna have to do it yourself. Actually,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You just click on the name or the message or the thing specifically, and there should be a thing to time them out or something like that.
Gotcha.
But anyway, I can just keep talking here with that.
Yeah.
regard.
Okay. Yeah. Just do that.
Yeah. Exactly. The designs, though, I think are more or less just kind of they serve the purpose of what they need to be. But I don't really have any. I don't really have any like I have more of a Attack on Titan character tier list in my head than I do an Attack on Titan design of the Titans tier list in my head. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Perk said there.
Okay, yep.
Say timeout name here. Yeah.
All right, yeah. It is done. It's all good now.
Cool.
Yep.
I wonder approximately how many days after an episode is aired can I watch Bro's reaction and discussed on YouTube? Maybe 2 or 3 days. If anything, this is one where we'll probably try to have it be as fast as possible. Just, to get it out there as fast as possible.
Yeah, but it is
we will be limited a bit by just
what the editors can do and
what the editors can do, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Caleb is not going to be watching the season 4 trailer. Nope.
I never liked Aaron ... You can stop there, Caleb. Words out of context, perv. Dang it. Come on, man. Come on.
And to be fair, I didn't think too highly of Aaron just after season 1 when, way back when.
Yeah.
Because he, just taking how he is in season 1, he kind of just turns into a rage monster, right? And the not knowing what comes after that, it was very easy for me to be like, I don't know if Attack on Titan is something that will end up aging well,
right.
Because just what we get from the character, the good heart and the wonder and all that stuff that we had at the beginning is just kind of gone. And not that it can't leave, but we need to see the void of the fact that it has left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about how busy our schedule will be. Well, it's not going to be that busy at times because there will be shows that will be seasonal that are ending relatively soon. Like The Mandalorian, I think is only going to have 8 episodes in total for season 2.
Yeah, so it'll be over pretty quick.
Yeah, what's the other one? Haikyuu is coming up on the end of season 2 really quickly as well.
Yep.
So we'll have a few episodes of Attack on Titan coming out while those ones are there, but in some ways it's gonna all round out rather quickly too.
Because we do things where we have like a backlog for stuff.
Yep.
It helps distribute like the pressure of things because then with things like seasonal shows, if it makes it so we have less of a backlog just generally tending over time, then once the seasonal shows end, then it rebalances itself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly what Yachi said. Haikyuu will end soon with only 4 episodes left.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Oh, man.
Yes, ReZero season 2 reactions are still happening this month.
Yeah. The main thing that might be different, though, with regards to the ReZero season 2 reactions is that it might take a little bit of time before they're actually
edited and
uploaded and stuff. But yeah, they'll probably be more towards the beginning of December, if anything, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But oh my god, the Tanya Evil movie reaction.
It is coming very soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be excited about that. But we'll probably be wrapping up the podcast here in a few minutes. We talked a little bit about some of the stuff that we're really excited for with season 4. But Jacob, I just gotta ask you, if the ending is good, but I mean, like it's really good, like it actually like surprises you from the manga perspective. Like, what will be kind of the big thing that will keep you keep you from just blowing up. Yeah, exactly. During the reactions and stuff.
So some people asked, they were like, okay, all this like discipline from Jacob, but you still do those demon laughs right when you get the chance. And yes, that's because it's to compensate for the fact that I've been being stone-faced, during the reactions, right? So
Sure.
yeah, when we get to that part where we get the time travel, confirmation seeding, or all that stuff, right? You can bet your butt that I will absolutely be freaking out, right? Like I did back then. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
The finale of Attack on Titan, this is something that I think you need to realize. Attack on Titan, as big of a show as it is, it's not like it ends quickly. Like, so my mind has already been blown by the ending, even though I'm, like 6 chapters behind, and there's another, there's going to be about another 4 chapters or so before it fully ends.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well then.
Expect some demon laughter.
Well then. Guys, thank you all for tuning into this podcast. I don't know what to say.
I'm not excited at all. Not excited in the slightest.
Because nothing happens.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
But it's coming, and it's going to be interesting. This show that I definitely haven't been looking forward to every new bit of release of content since I got into it. Yeah, no, it's.
Oh man.
It'll be a thing.
2 weeks, yeah. It'd be so funny if in one reaction Jacob is restrained with duct tape.
Nah, I got this.
Oh my god. But yeah, guys, big kind of heads up with regards to streams this week. No streams on Thursday.
Right.
So,
because Thanksgiving,
Turkey Day, have a pass no streams on Thursdays.
So,
but usual streams for the rest of it, though. So we'll see you there for those. Remember, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Monday, podcast. Tuesday, One Piece dramatic manga readings. Wednesday and Friday, I'm playing Hades. In December, I'll be starting Cyberpunk 2077 on those days as well. And then, of course, Jacob on Thursdays.
For Persona 4 Golden. And, taking a week off, yes. But we had like a 6-hour stream last week and kind of ended at like the perfect place to end with a week off.
Oh, okay.
Adachi better not fuck this up. But,
okay.
Yeah, so I'll see y'all Thursday after this Thursday. It'll be great.
Okay. But y'all, take care. Be sure to leave a follow if you want to stay up to date on everything.
Shut the hell up, CS Lionheart. No.
I don't get it.
You can just stop that right now.
But yeah. If you are a Twitch sub of any kind, you get access to our private Discord where you can chat with us in the community there about all the other stuff that we discuss in general. Talk with the community, like with One Piece, about like manga spoilers and stuff like that in there as well. Also, be sure to check out Jacob's sci-fi novel that he wrote, exclamation BL in chat.
Indeed. If you're looking for some extra entertainment, it's a book I wrote.
He wrote a book.
Yeah, maybe you'll like it.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, check out our VOD channel if you want to stay up to date on streams that are long time past. We have a couple that will be updated over the course of the coming week with regards to catching up to some things there. Thankfully, the recent debacle, for those of you that didn't know because you weren't here on the last One Piece stream, we got the whole missing One Piece volume all sorted out, and it's up there on the VOD channel, so check that out as well. But yeah, take care, guys. See you in the next one. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Something else, yeah?
Yep.
It'd be cool to have that moment where we get a new OP.
Or 2.
Well, right. But just the first one. And it'll just be one of those moments of where you're
yeah.
like,
Oh,
okay, what
yeah,
are they going
that's
to choose to
okay.
show?
No,
what
that's
kind of
a-
things will Caleb be, have to not see because he'll be spoiled on? Or
Right, that is a very good point. I'm curious, to say the least, of what they're going to do for both OPs because
Because people were saying that
Yeah.
the trailer was super spoilery. So what
Mm-hmm.
would the OP be then?
well, I mean, okay, hopefully they learned their lesson from season 3 part 2's OP because that was a bit much. Like that was a bit much.
Yeah.
But I mean, they'll have plenty of ammunition, I think, to just have it be awesome and hype without going into spoilers.
Like how we
necessarily.
don't go into spoilers about Battle Lines.
Exactly, we don't do that because there are important moments that you need